and we are live on the wonderful, I'm not sure what we're calling it. We'll just call it the ZMF Livestream. So we have Zach and we have Bevin, and you can check their links below and see all the fun channel stuff for that, for their websites and their Instagram and all their fun stuff there. But I'm hoping we can cover a lot of that here now. So I guess kick off with how is Zach and Bevin doing this weekend? Uh-oh, we're getting... Just hit the mute button, yeah. it just causes yeah. Okay. We're good. We're buttery goodness. Mine's a permanent haircut, so I'm usually pretty good. Oh, wait, you know what? We're only getting volume from me, apparently. So let me do something real quick. Classic noticing.
Uh-oh.
Yep, it should be back up now. Let me know. Let's see here.
No more snakes on Headphone.
How about now? Can we hear it? Can you guys hear us now? It's testing. There they are. Now we can. It's the classic OBS restart maneuver.
And take two.
Yeah.
Slate.
Sync it later.
Sync it later.
Later.
We'll crop that first 30 seconds out of it. So hey, we're here with Zach and Bevin. Zach, Bevin, how are things? It's been a while since we chatted last. So how is the Zach and Bevin world these days?
You wanna field that first, Zach?
It's good. We're just, we got behind because of the COVID lockdown situation in March and April, and we've been playing catch up all year, and you notice on the site there's no limited editions right now, so it's just kind of, I got a board in front of me that says how many headphones we've made this month. We're trying to just hammer headphones out now that we're in the new shop, and aside from ZMF, everything's pretty good. We don't really go anywhere because of the way the virus and COVID and all that is. So it's mostly just wake up, make headphones, go to sleep, make headphones, dream about how great 2023 is going to be.
Hi, Sheldon and Charles. Good to see you guys. Yeah, things have been good. I think moving into the new workshop just obviously has changed things in more ways than I was aware that it would, in terms of our ability to be efficient and productive and have really intentional process. We had intentional processes before, but to be able to design things with the space to effectively lay out everything to be the way you'd most like it to work. So it's been really good. We've been good. How about you?
I'm living my best Groundhog's Day life movie. It's all just kind of blurred. It's amazing how fast it went too. Like it was just summer, it seemed like, and now it's in the middle of fall. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
Time does seem to go by fast when your routine is really similar every day.
Yeah.
Android. Hey, John.
Android's in there too. Big showing today. So we got a good.
I got Charles Wynn's headphone like 4 feet away from me.
Ooh.
Yeah, should be very soon. Your amp's probably gonna get there before your headphones. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's actually probably better though, right? Because then he would have it ready to go, and not the other way. You could have the best.
Yeah. Get the amp warm for 2 days or something.
Exactly. Get those tubes warmed up.
Yeah.
I'm drinking tea. So real quick, so how's that been? I know it's been crazy. I've been chatting with different people and stuff, and you guys got slammed like with orders. It seemed like you guys were getting just tons of really which is awesome. I think that's fantastic. I'm a big fan, obviously, and I think the more people that have your guys' headphones, the better. So, how's that been?
Well, I mean, it was a compound effect because we were, just me making headphones in March and April and part of May. And then people also started buying headphones again at the end of April and early May. And so there was this compound effect of, me making less headphones than when we have our whole team here. And then also, during the pandemic, people saying, well, I'm going to be at home more. Maybe it's a good time to get some ZMFs. And so, I mean, we definitely haven't sold twice as many headphones this year as last year, but we were almost twice as behind because of that compounding effect.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this last month with us pulling the limited editions from the site and getting into the new workshop, we're making about twice as many headphones as we were before. So, A-list, we're actually going to be caught up after this week with Stockwoods. Verite with Stockwoods will be caught up in 2 weeks. So there's, we're moving towards better times all around.
That's I think that's the biggest factor, right? Is like the fact that it's like you're cranking away, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, now guess what? You have to work with one hand tied behind your back.
Yeah.
and then they're still going to be piling the orders on and everything like that too. And I think I'm glad you guys are getting back to normal, because that means, like I said, I'm a big fan and I like to see more people get their headphones in hand and be able to experience it. And I think it's such a fun experience watching someone or hearing about their experiences as they get it. So like there's a couple Discords I'm in where people would they would literally be typing as they were wearing their headphones and trying it for the first time and talking through the break-in process, and I thought that was super fun, and I always think that's super cool, especially with it, for whatever reason, like there's a special magic with your guys' headphones. I'm also, like I said, I'm a bit of I wear my fandom on my sleeve, but or on my shirt. But it's fun seeing other people experience that, though, if that makes sense. And I think another big question real quick that I've been actually seeing in the chat a little bit too, is people were wondering with this, and it kind of makes sense to me, has been the Verite closed been the more popular recently? And I'm wondering if it's because people are at home and they want to close off their
So actually, I mean, maybe not surprisingly, but they've sold about equally this year. The list for the closed is longer right now because we hammered out a bunch of Verites in the last 2 or 3 weeks but they've both been about equally long, right, Bevin, for about most of the year?
I think also Verite closed because it was a release that came more recently. It got reviewed in Stereophile. Herb Reichert really loved it. Absolute Sound reviewed it and really loved it. So, I mean, I think as ZMF also got more well-known, our sort of newer headphones got in the hands of people who maybe weren't familiar with ZMF before, that sort of thing. So I think the Verite closed had that advantage as well as a headphone is, being spoken about a little more widely.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably very true, and I think there's also that whole the newest. Everyone will always want to if they have the means gravitate to the newest and greatest, and not that it's the greatest, but you know what I'm saying, the most recent thing, and a lot of people have that mentality of the most recent thing is the whatever, which not the case. ZMF, all your guys' headphones have such cool, unique characters. I almost think of it that way, little characters, they all have their own little flavor and their own unique capabilities, and they're all fantastic. So, and I think Eldrick even mentioned something. He said you guys sound. He's listening through his pendant in Blackwood Verite right now, and he says you guys sound exceptional.
Someone just Sleepy Rhythms said I have a cool shirt on, so
that's a pretty slick.
Sleepy Rhythms.
Got double pockets right here. Nothing in the pockets, but shoulder pad. I wish there was an elbow. If there was an elbow pad.
That's a little That's the elbow pads really do add that extra little bit of
full view here.
That's the ultimate woodsman. The flannel with the elbow patches.
It's I
down
don't even know what brand it is. I don't know. Read the
it's
tag
REI.
there.
I got it for you.
Oh, I think yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
I don't shop for myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it was my way, I'd be wearing t-shirts and jeans 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweatpants, baby.
So with that, like, so you, and then that whole other big transition for you guys too, right? Was like the moving into your new space, which has been a long time coming. Like, it's been, you guys have been planning this and getting it prepped and ready to rock for a while, and then I mean, that's
Bevin. Bevin puts so much effort into this place. It's crazy.
We bought it a year ago, maybe more, because it was August to August of it just being. We bought this like real fixer-upper. I'll show you the space in a minute, but it was entirely empty. It looked like maybe someone had been fixing cars up in here. Like there were old, it was rusty and crusty and gross and really needed a lot of love. So it was a very long time.
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture on my phone that I can show everybody from when we bought it a year ago. Assuming those pictures are still on my phone, I'll see if I can find one.
And like that like, and we'll get into it here in a sec, but like that finally, like, getting the keys to the kingdom, like, that's got to be so relieving, right? To be able to finally get in there and like get it, like, not, sorry, it's already there, you already own the keys, but like to finally have it and start moving everything in, it was probably such a relief. And just
yeah, and just the entire journey of it all. Like, I was looking back, there's a blog called The Sound Apprentice, and they came to one of our first apartments in Chicago when Zach had first started modding, and he did like a little photojournalism of this one tiny room where Zach had a setup. We were like, oh yeah, you can use the back bedroom. And if they say you have a 2-bedroom in Chicago, it's a 1-bedroom and a closet. So Zach used like the closet and was all set up. And just, I was reflecting on that today, looking back at like I don't even know what year that was, maybe 2015. And the different like spaces we've inhabited in sort of building and reinvesting into the business at every step to try and, like move it out of the house, like make it,
upwards and onwards and all that fun stuff, right?
Here's a picture. I don't know how easy this is to see for everyone, but there's a picture of it in maybe
you guys
November
did a lot
last
of work.
year. So it's it was just an empty shell of a room with it was just a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot empty space.
That's pretty crazy. And then just go like Bevin was saying, to go from like what you had in the beginning to that, it's like, talk about just the journey, right? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, me modding at a dinner table to having my own workbench, and then upgrading very slowly through time, to having a full shop. It's crazy to think about the last 9 years.
And Elric has a very important question. Does Bevin now have a headphone-free house?
It's getting there pretty.
Zach, I should give him like husband props that he has been working really hard, because he knows like it's kind of important to me to, have a little bit of like separation life back. So, each weekend we'll pick an area and be like, what can go over to the shop and what needs to stay here and how do we do this? So.
Slowly moving room to room.
Yeah.
Oh man. And so regarding the that kind of stuff, like how's now that you're kind of getting back into the track, you got a new you got new machinery, you got more things like that in place now. Do you guys feel like with the new space and everything, like you already mentioned that you are kind of already keeping up and actually surpassing and going to start having caught up with all of the orders and everything, is your goals to basically start having more of like I think we talked about before, is having more of like a stable supply of like all the baselines so that it's easier to just and run through? Because I remember we were talking about that before. Does that seem like it's going to be pretty easy to accomplish now that you have your space and like the everything's in place? And what's the takeaway there?
So there's going to be, some changes kind of to how we sell headphones in a way. Immediately next month, the biggest change you're going to notice is we're going to be switching from like a Squarespace platform to a Shopify platform, which will allow, I think, our more custom-ish type product to be a little easier to comprehend on the user side. But what's going to happen is we're going to have stock headphones that we're hoping to be basically caught up on, that you can have shipped within, I'd say, a 1 to 3 week time period. I mean, we'll see, we always can only make so many headphones at a time, but that'll ship almost, as immediately as possible and have fewer options. So like the Silkwood Verite, the stock version, we'll just keep making them with black grills and a certain stain, and it'll be like you buying a headphone from any company, where there's like almost one SKU, you get these cables and all that stuff. And then we'll have limited editions like we usually do. They'll have more semi-custom options, grills you can choose, chassis you can choose, more options like that. And then eventually, this isn't something that's going to happen next month, but in the new year at some point, we want to, and it's there's a lot of things depending on it, but having like a I would call it like a semi-custom shop, where kind of like if you think Fender guitars or any brand that makes something where you can customize elements, but you'll be able to get little laser engravements on the side of your headphone. You'll be able to pick the finish. There'll be a lot more custom options, and it will be a little bit more expensive, because more or less what we've found over the last few years, and as we've grown in popularity, is that my passion has always been doing the interesting things with the headphones, doing the different finishes, doing the one-off stuff. But as we've gotten more requests for that and gotten more popular, it's been really hard to keep up, because every one of those headphones needs a lot of special attention, and the future owner wants to see what am I really getting and all that stuff. And so it's just kind of organizing our business so there's a space for that, but that it's not something that's going to take the people who just want to get a ZMF headphone in a stock version, because the process of making them all is really similar. Stock versions are all handmade the same way, but they don't have those little special physical aesthetic things that we can do, but that slow down production when we agree to do them. So it's just making sure that every type of customer is taken care of in the most efficient way possible.
No, that
Hey,
sounds
Lubo.
fantastic. Hey, there we go.
Lubo.
So I want to say, like, that sounds actually pretty fantastic, to be like honest. Like, it seems like, because it would be a lot more maintainable, like you're saying. It sounds like, and then I also
it allows
think
to do a lot more, like more woods available. More of everything that we're able to do with that, because before we're working within the confines of like 1 or 2 woods at a time, and with like a more of a custom shop thing, where if you as a customer are buying it and you are like, oh, I'm buying a custom thing, I know it's going to take longer, there's just more we can do with more time, more woods we can have, more special unique things. There's just a lot of things we want to try, and we'll be able to offer it that way.
that's and that's fantastic. Oh, sorry, Bevin, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think sort of like our coming from like a small apartment to a bigger apartment to a house to a facility, like our organizational structure was sort of piecemealed from the beginning in the same way, where we were like, oh yeah, you want that? Sure, we can do that. And as we grew and grew and grew, like that relationship and that way of working became difficult, because there are people who are like, hey, I just want the headphone, like I don't care what color it is, like I'm in it for the sound only, or I think the exact stock black whatever is good for me, just get it out the door. We understood that those people were getting sort of frustrated with the process. Well, there are people who are like, this is my end game, I know exactly what I want, I want all these things. I want to be like a part of the process. So we just really needed to reflect on how do we honor both of those people, someone who's like, I just want to try this and I want it quickly. And yeah, I think Zach and our team have really thought strategically about like, how do we make this work for everyone and for us?
Yeah, right. Especially make sure the work-life balance can get back to a more normal, I'm assuming, lifestyle once COVID everything starts to go away, and maybe take some trips and all that fun stuff. I don't know why I'm trying
Take
to
some
think.
trips.
What are these trips you speak
What
of?
a fantasy! What is this trip? Where would I go?
So many options.
Can I leave the county?
Yeah, 100 yards from your house. Go. No. But yeah, like I think that's such a I think that's the biggest thing a lot of people I think fail to recognize too, is like that work-life balance, right? Like finding that ability to both work-life and also customer balance, of like finding the way to one, stay true to what you're trying to do, and then also provide the best service to the people that are wanting the things that you're providing, and then also finding the time for yourselves to stay sane and and all that fun stuff. And then real quick, I know for a lot of people that always wanted to kind of get a little peek behind the curtain a little bit, like in the sense of what I'm going to ask pretty basic stuff, but your favorite, and we mentioned it before, but like currently, what's your favorite wood to be working with right now? Like what's one of the more current favorites? Kind of a more fun question. Sorry.
That we have right now.
This could be a secret.
Wood. I mean, the woods I'm excited about are usually the ones we haven't cut yet. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I bought these blocks of black and white ebony that we just haven't used yet. I have so little of it, but at some point, who knows? Maybe I'll get one for ZMF November done. I don't know, but that's a wood I really want to wood. But woods that I like to work with, I mean, we have our Verite limited edition coming out next month. And we worked with it last year on the Verite closed for the first limited edition as that desert Ironwood. Mm-hmm. And that wood just like, it's so easy to make it look nice, because it is these very fine pores that are very congruent in size throughout the wood. The wood sands and polishes almost like like you sand it and get it smooth and polish it down with just sandpaper. And you're almost like, what? Do I even need to put finish on this? It's so smooth and so beautiful. So yeah, I mean, desert Ironwood it's cool just to think how long the trees grow. So that's definitely over the last year been one that I just really love how it comes out, and love the story behind it and love working with it.
Okay, fantastic. And real quick before I jump in, Bevin, can I address something?
Yeah.
Ben. These are better. Sorry. Anyways, okay, go ahead, Bevin.
Ooh, better than his VC? Or?
Yeah, he just got his his orange burst.
It, or,
yeah, they're beautiful.
I think we called it what do we call it? Sunset? Canary Sunset. Or sunrise? Sunset. Canary Sunset.
I'm waiting for the clap back in the live chat here.
Tyler's was the first custom Verite closed ever, I think. You got that burst finish. You got it the day of ZMF Festivus 2019. The last ZMF Festivus there will ever be.
Say it isn't so.
I don't know. We don't know if that's true. We hope there's one soon.
How dare you?
2023.
2023. Sorry for the interruption, Bevin. And your current favorite wood that you have in the space?
Let's see. Well, am I allowed to talk about woods that we got in, Zach?
Yeah.
We have
such a stockhold of wood. I have a wood buying problem. If I see wood and I like, I'm like, I have to buy.
You've seen the
He's a
GIF,
hoarder.
right? The wood GIF that I think I sent to you, Bevin, to share. And it's like the GIF of the guy. It's like the dating site, but it's for wood, and it's just a bunch of different woods. And it's like swiping through the. Sorry, it was,
Swiping right
yeah,
on all those woods.
on the wood.
Oh. I see Angry Tank showed up. He's got a really cool green stabilized that I liked a lot. Hey there.
You like stabilized with the best?
I like
Is that what you're
stabilized a
saying?
lot because every single one is like unexpected, you know? You just don't know. So first of all, there's the grain structure of the wood itself before it's stabilized. And then it's how the actual dye is like vacuum sucked into that particular piece of wood. So it's always a surprise and completely unique. But the wood that I was going to say that I really like is we have marble wood that we're about to start working with that is pretty delightful. It's really cool.
Should I go get a cup? Or I'll show them later? Show them later? I'll show them later. Oh, when we're in the wood room. When we're in the wood room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously I'm biased a tad bit because these have not just my favorite, but the ash wood with the Shoshone
Manchurian
style.
ash.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. But my next favorite one is the one that Ian has, the purple ones the first stabilized purple ones that he got.
Oh yeah. We got like a couple. Those were like they sent us 4 sets for Can Jam last year just to test out if they would work for headphones, and I think they were trying to woo us because they sent us like the nicest pieces.
I mean, and I was just at his house the other day. I think it was earlier this week, and I was playing with him, and I was just like, oh man, and then he got the demo set that you had that you were taking all the shows before COVID, obviously. I think it's the teal ocean or ocean kind of looking.
Yeah,
ones.
it's like teal with a bunch of wavy like flame to it.
So yeah,
those are nice.
Those very nice. I like.
Wow, we were.
Yes.
Oui.
Oui.
You watch it?
Live
you watch it
stream
yet? We haven't watched the second one yet, so we're biting at the bit to watch it. Yeah, I see a couple.
We watched it last night. Watched it last night.
So. I'll have to grab the wife and we'll have to watch it here soon. Then, sorry, random.
Grandma, we did not watch it last night.
We did.
What?
My grandma might watch this live stream, and I want her opinion to stay fresh of me.
Yeah, that's fair. Borat can be an interesting fellow to subject certain people to. So I guess jumping from there. Sorry, I got a little bit of a sidetrack there. If you guys want, we're about 30 minutes in. If everybody wants, we can maybe start to do the tour, and we can kind of see what it is that we've been talking about leading up to this. Unless, of course, there's some other stuff you'd want to chat prior and make it a little more risque.
I gonna just let's see here.
Actually, I come over at you.
Whoa.
Oh,
no, you can direct me if you want.
Zoning.
Turn the light on.
You see that rack to the left, everyone? That was pretty amazing. Was that
I'll start at the front door.
Ooh,
we can
yes.
see Bevin's. We'll see Bevin's. We'll see Bevin's setup. Yeah, it'll be like walking. Well, initially, this room is supposed to be kind of a head-fi room.
Oh, that's cool.
There's Bevin. Hi, Bevin. Turn around. Hello.
I like the wall of headphones, by the way. That was epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could fit so many headphones on the wall. So I mean, that's the thing. We usually have 50 to 80 headphones that are in some stage of production that we're trying to get out the door. Yeah, all the. Yeah,
I love this space, by the way. That is really.
So
I love that lamp.
Kind of the lounge.
That is amazing.
This is a portable listening area, for when you listen to the portable stuff. And yeah, these are the Costco lamps that.
The pulley, they look really cool with the little pulley system. Sorry, I'm totally.
Yeah.
Hey, look at those lamps at the ZMF
This is
headquarters. Look for the
yeah,
ZMF.
Bevin. So yeah, you walk in the door. Well, here we can walk in the door.
Oh
We'll
yes,
walk in the door here.
Oh
Here we
my
go.
authentic.
Oh,
that
yep,
is
here we
Where
go.
am
So
so
you walk
awesome.
in, see this lounge area here, and yeah, I mean, this is kind of where the guys social distance, eat lunch right by all the fans and stuff because we don't eat together. But and then you walk in and you have this listening table. This is kind of
Oh, I love the table
getting
too.
getting a lot more stuff. Yeah.
Is that your oh, you have all your desk stuff right there. Is the Glen? Is that the Glen right there? No, what is
Let's
that
see.
one?
We got GSX right here.
The
We got
Yig.
the new Amps and Sound.
Ooh, that's what I was wondering. What is
Nautilus.
that? Ooh, that's
Yeah, this
that's
is the
nice.
new Amps and Sound flagship. This amp is amazing.
That looks really ridiculously cool.
It's got like 8 watts in the headphones and then like 20 watts in the speakers or something. But it just is really powerful, really nice. What's up? What are you saying? Why are you making faces?
Oh, Charles said I have a slight look of terror on my face. I don't know. What am I doing?
She's not in control, so she's worried of what I might do.
I feel a little captive. I'm like, what's he gonna do?
Glen 300B
there we go.
right here. Glen 300B.
That thing was so wonderful.
Above
to listen to.
a vintage Enlightened Audio Designs DSP 9000 right here. It took me a long time to find one of these, but very musical setup. Got the shit deck, got another EAD DAC below it, and below that's the Inuos music streamer that you can kind of see on the bottom there. My personal set of Verites from the Pheasantwood first batch.
Sorry, Pheasantwood. That's right, 'cause that was your favorite. That was your favorite wood, right?
And then yeah, I love the Pheasantwood. It's classy. It's nice. Got the DNA Stratus. Actually, no pendants on the table right now because we're sold out, and I had to send my personal unit, to an owner, for a demo. So yeah, but we're getting more in this week, and we should get one back on the table. So ZMF pendant. But I got my Nautilus. I got my Amps and Sound Nautilus to keep me company.
That is a pretty fantastic DAC or amp.
This is the this is the kind of the measurement and test room. See Bevin's lights and everything in here. Here she is. But you turn a lot of you just see it's kind of an office area. But there's a headphone wall. These are all in testing right now. This is some of ZMF November wall. Some headphones for next month that are used in these stocks.
Everyone's gonna be pausing and like.
Yeah. A lot there. Cables. This is where all our cables are made. So any of the custom ZMF cables. We have some exciting stuff coming out where we have our own custom headphone jacks now in this kind of pretty coffee gold color.
Those are nice.
It's kind of a neat.
I like that. That is really cool looking.
So yeah, we have those in XLR. And a bunch of other, all the 4.4, 2.5, all the different jacks.
I like that.
So
those
kind of make our cables unique. The splitters are cool too. I don't know where they went, but those will be on the website for DIY use as well coming up in November. We're going to start being able to sell some of our old Mechanicos wire for DIY and Atmos wire, so people can make their own cables if they don't want to buy them from us. A bunch of sweatshirts. All right, I'll keep moving. I'm going to keep moving.
Oh, like that little ZMF. Is that a little neon sign?
Oh, yeah, neon sign. It's not on right now, but it is. Kitchen area. Do you want me to show kitchen area?
People were curious about coffee. People were curious
so kitchen area,
coffee.
we have a Profitec lever machine here.
Oh, wow.
For when you're making that nice espresso. It's very kind of a hard lever, but
that's
one of the perks you get at working at ZMF.
That's a serious little setup right there.
Kitchen area for eating things. But yeah, so I only drink decaf coffee, believe it or not, but I still love coffee. shipping area.
That's my little corner of the world,
Bevin's
guys.
little corner.
That's where
you need a big Bevin sign above your.
Yeah, it's where your pads get packed with love and care in their red tissue paper.
Iconic. My daughter loves that stuff. By the way, because I gave it to her. She always asks for it. Sorry, random thing. And so she makes gifts for me. And so I'll be like, "Here's a gift, Papa." So I open it up, and like this most current one, it's a rock, and she says it's a treasure. Let me cover my face. And you can't really see it, but she like drew faces on it with like pins.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, random side story.
Here's all the workstations. You can kind of see we've got 4 of them. A couple corner stations.
Where the magic happens.
This is where the headphones get assembled. Some inventory here for different rods and such. Got your brass rods, got your black aluminum rods, a bunch of bolts for the headphone, all the bits you need to make the headphones, some headbands for builds coming up.
I do love the new what are you calling it? Is it not Merlot, but like that the wine
chassis.
Chassis, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I like the color. I like that color. Maybe it's because I like purple. I don't know. Maybe that's just a weird bias I have.
That's nice.
It checks out, Tyler.
Ben has it on his headphone.
He does. I think it looks lovely, personally. I'm sure he'll.
Hey, Don.
So that's the assembly area. Here's a earpad stock wall of earpads that are. Those are earpads, and then those are all earpads in those stacks there too. We have a lot of as you know, we have a lot of different models of earpads. Here's a raw wire for cables. So a few thousand meters of wire here. Here's our laser cutter.
Very cool.
Where we cut stuff. Here's headphones that are in the process of being ready for assembly this week, so you can kind of see there's some cups
the camphor
in there. Some camphor burl verite closed, ready for assembly this week.
Oh wow, those look beautiful too. Sneak peeks.
And then over here is the spraying and varnishing area. So you can see there's some cups. There's some more. Here's some regular camphor, so you can kind of contrast the look of the burl to this regular camphor for the Atticus and Icon. And then in the booth, I just sprayed these yesterday. These desert ironwood.
Oh yeah.
Get a good look of it. Desert ironwood for the Verite Open.
It has that cat's eye look that I really like. As a kid, I used to collect cat's eye rocks, and I love that the Desert Eye one has that too. Like, especially in person, like it's like that's the one thing that's also crazy about your headphones, especially, is like they look amazing in pictures, but until you have them in your hand, it's like it's a whole nother experience.
Yeah, it's hard to get that chatoyance and kind of iridescence of wood. We're working on coming up with some methods to show it better on the website. Here's the end of our Zero Coat Atticus and Icon batch.
Wow, look at those.
We're just getting these last ones out this week. Those are really nice. And then there's more camphor burl cups in here. So here on top, you have the kind of lighter colored ones. And then here on bottom, the ones that are stained with a little bit of mahogany to them.
Those are beautiful.
And then a lot of finishing stuff here.
I'm just as mesmerized as I'm sure some of the live chat people are like, oh, whoa.
So more stuff there, and then
the special. Is that going to be coming up? You mentioned the marble wood that you were talking about.
Oh yeah, let's get to the marble wood. This is where we keep all the raw wood, and just so people know, they're like, where do they cut the wood? We have a CNC machine that we own that's down in St. Louis area. We actually work with Nick and Jude from Vocal and JDS Labs fames.
Awesome guys.
And we own the machine, and then they're part of our staff. And they make do all the CNC cutting, and it's really great to have such a good team doing our CNC work, because not only are we really good friends with them,
Yeah, this guy's rock.
but they're 1 day shipping away, and we can drive down there and pick out the wood, and it's just really nice to have that amount of control over the wood and have a good relationship with the people cutting it, all that stuff. So that's where all of our wood is kept and cut before it comes up here.
Well, I was gonna say too, so having the machine now, we can also buy wood in bulk and use it for I really like when things match and feel like they're a set. So I theoretically wanted a Solier to match the pendant base to match the headphones. So you can have your stuff that looks congruent, or sometimes the contrast is really nice too, but I get itchy when things don't feel
you wouldn't I have my let me block the leopard wood, but see, I think it looks good with the contrast, like you said.
I actually think you're right, Tyler. If you had a purple stand with a purple base, that might not show off the headphone as the centerpiece. So maybe I'm wrong.
No. I think you're right. I think with certain, definitively certain ones, it definitely works. I just, what just happened?
I'm trying to show off our polisher. Caught up in a power. Well, I'll fix it later.
And just like that, polisher. ZMF workshop. Done.
I hate this one. And the epic leather apron, of course.
Oh yeah.
Here, we'll fix it so everybody knows that life will go on.
But I think, Bevin, though, while Zach's fixing that, I do think that it looks fantastic when you have because I have seen the zero coat on zero coat, and it looks pretty awesome. Or the what did I see one that was really, really awesome?
Wenge?
Yes.
I'm thinking about Wenge.
Yes.
Yeah. We just got really nice Wenge Soliers in, and we're doing a Wenge run of Otors. So I saw someone who got the Wenge Otor with the black grill and rod, and I put it on a stand, and I was like, yeah, that.
So I think it does. It's just I think it's just finding those balances and stuff. Because I think I have, what do I have down here right now? But yeah, so something like that would kind of. And these are the stellias. I put the stellia on the before on the leopard wood, and that one looks a little bit. It doesn't look that great.
too off orangey.
It's yeah. And that headphone in and of itself is a unique beast, and so love and hate with the relationship with the colorway. Oh, and that is it the marble time?
Oh yeah, I gotta show the marble wood. I'll be right back.
Yes,
I'm the Chris Jenner of this relationship. I'm like Zach.
I have ADHD, so I'm with him. I'm.
I'm the momager. I'm like, go get that marble wood, like you were supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
My move definitely is this very much so that way. Are you gonna put this away now? Oh yeah, I should do that, huh? And then so I was gonna say the space looks fantastic, by the way. That that sounds that looks like an amazing place to work. I think that would be a really dope place to. Oh wow, look at that. Wow, that looks really cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like zebra wood, but with much bigger grain.
Looks like a marble, like a marbled.
Marble, yeah.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
We haven't gotten any to I think a light stain on that too, to bring some of the yellow portions a little warmer. Will look really cool.
Yeah, I think those look fantastic. I like the perfect. Yeah, those are fantastic looking. Drift wants to know if you guys are hiring.
After the pandemic.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a hold because of the pandemic. Just right before the winter starting, we definitely will be doing some hiring whenever it's
Whenever it gets to norm.
safe to. But yeah.
And then Sheldon says you have a hand modeling future.
Me or Bevin?
You Zach, yeah. I got stubby broken hands, so I can't even remotely try. I pretend.
Just this low resolution cameras make it look better, I think.
And then people are saying those look like waffles with syrup on them.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I actually haven't even this week I'll be making a couple sets, and the interesting thing about it's got kind of a texture like wenge or wenge or however you say it. It's got that kind of striation to the texture to the wood, whereas zebra wood's much smoother feeling. So I don't know, it's going to be really interesting to see how they turn out with finish and if they gain chatoyance or anything, because I haven't sprayed or done varnish on a set yet, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, sounds like a blast. See, I think that's the part that's really cool. Like, honestly, that's one of the things that I love about like what you guys are doing too. Is like the I consider it art. Like, to me, it's art. Like, you're making these beautiful pieces that are one-offs, right? So they're not, and they're like kind of like that heirloom type thing, right? Where it's like these are one-off things that are each one, even if they're the baseline wood or what have you, because of the fact of nature of wood, they are unique to that person because of that grain and that specific piece and and so I think that's like such an artistry, right? And it makes people have such a connection to their headphones and to you guys by just having that, right? Like that uniqueness to each individual. I think it's such a cool art to be able to provide. And that's why I eventually will want to have every single one. Every single model at least. So, as much as I'd love to have every single one, I don't think I would. I'm pretty sure my wife would not be pleased.
You might be a little angry.
Yeah, I think I'd be in trouble if we didn't make them. I'd just be like 6 headphone models from the same people.
Yeah, you have one head. What is your problem?
6 headphones.
That's excessive.
Can't listen to 6 headphones at once.
Or can you?
You have one headphone at a time, Zach.
Excuse me. But yeah, like I think, I honestly like that's like the joy of getting a ZMF headphone. Like and I think some people get upset with like having to wait for the headphones up, but I think that's part of the charm, right? Like I think it's part of the process of like knowing that they're going into production, they're getting sanded and watching. And people always talk about like, oh, we're checking the list, and I'm checking the list, and it's like it's such a this anticipation buildup, and then you get the box in, and like there's like this really cool moment where you're like super excited. It's like Christmas, right? Like all of a sudden you get this box, you're opening it up, and then you inch it open, and to see your headphones, it's like
There's definitely a build up and release there. I mean, going forward, at least people will, with the stock wood versus limited wood thing, will be able to be like, do I want to wait longer for something a little more unique, or do I want something more stock faster? Because right now you order either, you go into the same list, but coming up there, it will be a differentiation between time that you as the buyer can choose, hey,
which it's a choose your own adventure path. The ZMF choose your own adventure.
Do I want to buy this and talk to Zach and Bevin less and know what I'm getting exactly, or do I want to buy this and have more input?
I think more personally, more Zach and Bevin is where I would go, but that's and then. Actually, someone mentioned it here, and they kind of talk about it, and I've been diving into this other hobby a little bit. Not diving in, but I'm tentatively putting my toe in and seeing what happens. Is keyboard. Like there's these custom keyboard groups, right? And they have they do these group buys, and they call it sheet life as well, right? Like, and so that it's kind of similar to some degree, but with keyboards, with what you guys are doing. But imagine it with keyboards now, and then obviously a different. I mean, not what's that GIF or meme? It's like same but different, but same. It's like so. I think it's kind of fun seeing how the similarities between some of that, and I think there's a bunch of the keyboard community in here right now as well as what I'm seeing.
What keyboard are you rocking right now?
Currently, I am rocking a Kono Store Kira. I'll unplug. So I got this. It's pretty cool. I got a cool like wrist, like it's Galaxy-ish.
Whoa.
Wrist
Is that like
rest.
epoxy or something?
Yeah, it's epoxy and it has like a.
Does that feel good on the?
Yeah, it's just soft and it's just a smooth, soft. There's no like roughness to it. And then I have, and this isn't anything fancy, but it's just a Kira keyboard. Let's see. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And it has a little number pad, and I even have a little cool little custom headphone.
We have mechanical keyboards, but they're show them the.
And it's got the
like we have the A-Jazz like kind of, it looks vintage, but it's lit up. You got it there, bud?
No.
Oh.
I don't have enough cord to be able to show it.
Oh,
and I just things fall.
It's the A-Jazz like one you get on Amazon. It looks like a keyboard from the 80s, but it's actually a mechanical keyboard.
It's cool though.
I love
I hope
that
nobody
stuff.
like screenshots that face I just made as like a reaction to.
It's now it's gonna happen. You just get now people are gonna make that happen.
It looks like Elmerick asked about the less expensive model in coffee. The coffee, our friend from Arizona sent us this really good chip. It was it's called
Old Bisbee.
Old Bisbee, and we've been on a kick where we've been getting that a lot lately. I actually joined the subscription program for their coffee after getting that. He turned us on to them, and Bevin's got a favorite bean, and so that's been good. I think it's oldbisbeeroasters.com or something, but
that's right.
They do the best decaf process, which is the mountain water process, and they've got really good regular coffee. And then as far as the less expensive ZMF, we've got the chassis pretty close to done, and the cup's pretty close to done, and we've been experimenting with different drivers because we have to develop a new driver for that. So it's a ways away. I mean, what we kind of ran into is getting so behind this year. There was a little less time to work on that, and it's at the point where we have a chassis, we have a foundation. We've been trying some different driver designs and some different new membranes and such and tunings. And we'll probably, hopefully 2021's the year it's going to come out because we'll get caught up and have more time for that. But it's definitely, the chassis turned out great. It's got all new metal parts that are lighter. The Camphor version we have right now, even with a driver in it's maybe 370 grams. And so it's, compared to our other headphones that are usually for stock woods between 400 and 500 grams, to be under 400, I think a lot of people are going to find it really comfortable. It's got a little bit of an oval shape to it, which actually is making us adjust a few things for the sonic attributes of it, because you kind of have to move things around when you have a little bit of an oval shape, but it sits on the ears really nicely because of that, and feels, even though it's not small, it feels pretty ergonomic and lightweight.
Nice, very, very cool. Well, that's awesome. They're willing to share that nice little leak.
Yeah. Hopefully, middle of next year. Because the real challenge with that is we have a staff right now that's set up to make the headphones that we make. But if we're coming out with something in that $700 to $900 range, one, we have to make sure our processes are really efficient. Two, we need the staff to support it, because a product like that, I don't feel comfortable in that price range saying, you've got to wait a long time. It's not, it's going to be more of an off-the-shelf product.
Just kind of throwing them, getting it there, boop, 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 going in and out. Kind of deal. And
so we're going to have some new staff and stuff for that. So it's, there's a few things to do to get it out there, but we're working on it, and Brent, you'll be the first to hear it, Brent. Or you, Tyler, or you, Ben, Head Karma, Sleepy Rhythm, DJ, Eki.
Just reading
You
names
get a
now.
headphone. You get a
If you're
headphone.
watching,
You get a
if
headphone.
you're watching this stream,
High five.
you're already on the top of our list.
Yeah, like I think that someone actually also asked real quick regarding something right there is kind of asking about because we were talking about whinge earlier, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Is that difficult to machine or to yeah? It's like, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a run. So we got a new CNC machine a couple months ago that's just getting running now, and we were running it on the old machine. And this new one's just much better for woods like that because it's got those intertwined grain and grain pattern, and there's just tear out unless you're machining it in a really specific way, happens more than we'd like. So yeah, woods like that, like wenge or wenge, zero coat, any wood that's dense and has an intertwined grain, it can be tough with tear out. And then when the guys, when we work on it and sand it, yeah, it's just you've got to take a little more effort to, and that's the thing. Every time we go into a new limited edition or with a custom headphone or changing woods, like it's almost like you have to remind your whole staff and remind yourself as you're working on them, like, hey, this wood, these are the properties of this wood. We have to treat it in this way so the headphone turns out good. Because like when you're putting a tour grill in a pair of wenge set, you have to cut it, probably another 1/4 millimeter, 1/2 millimeter larger for the grill, because with the intertwined grain and a little bit higher shrink ratio with wenge, there's more chance of it splitting. So there's just little things like that.
That's crazy. The little
cool
details.
Wood. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy one to work with. Yeah.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay. I was waiting for it. Yeah.
Hey.
And an insidious meme. How's it going? He mentioned it, Can Jam.
We met you at Can Jam SoCal, right? SoCal.
That's when I met you guys then as well. It's crazy. That was so, yeah. Wait, was that last year? Was that 2019?
Was it?
Wow, so crazy. I can't think. Yeah. Anyways. And then
2018, 2017.
2018.
It was 2018, yeah.
And then so with the idea with the small details, like I paid attention to detail, right? It was something I always like in doing my other past life stuff, like attention to detail is always a big piece of everything, right? And so I think that really applies heavily with like what you're just talking about, is like being able to know like the wood, and that's another part of it, right? Is knowing how the wood will react to certain things, and having the certain stains or the certain polishes that you'll use, and how that will react to the grain, and like knowing that. I think that's an artistry in and of itself. Like how do you choose the stains and stuff like that for some of these headphones, or what's the process? Like for instance, like I know I'm gonna ramble real quick, but like the burst style, like I love that. Like I love this burst style. Like, can you like talk through some of that a little bit?
Yeah, and so I think one thing that we have to explain sometimes with customers, future owners who are getting certain woods, is that you can't stain every wood. Like Cocobolo, if you try to stain it, like it already has so much oil and color in it that some woods just kind of reject things when you try to put anything in them like stain. And then with stain, I mean, there's different types of stains. There's oil-based stain and there's alcohol-based stain, and so there's just a lot of decisions to be made, and then some trial and error as far as woods. But generally woods fall into either the categories of how dense they are and how oily they are. And so woods that are drier and lighter stain easier. So like your ash or maple or camphor, those are all going to take stains much better. And you can see on your headphone how vibrant the colors look in the middle. And that's it's almost like painting on a canvas. So if you have a canvas and you're a painter, if the canvas is brown, hello.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. You can do that. That's amazing.
Show the crowd. Show the crowd.
Okay, come here, Ryan. You have to show everybody. You're gonna see it. Come here.
Hey, what's this trick I can do?
What can she, what? Oh!
Wow.
Did you blow the train top off?
No,
It's right here. All right, go show mom. Grab your show and go show mom.
Oh, Mom.
Mom, don't eat this.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna shut the door real quick.
Oh no, she's welcome. Bring her back. Bring her back.
I think she tricked the wife. She's like, I'm going to the bathroom, then ran in here.
She knows she's gonna do well in this world.
Yeah.
What was that? That was a little.
You ever seen like the little magnet wood train sets? And it's just like one of the tops for the one of the. She builds a train set in the room. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if I can follow that up with wood stuff.
sorry, I'm sorry.
No, she's so adorable and talented that
Well, I think you guys are just as adorable and exponentially as talented.
Bevin's adorable. Me, I'm nice young man. So headphones stains. Yes, back to the topic. So your headphone, what I say is it's so vibrant because ash, you get it. It's very white. It doesn't have a lot of color to it. It takes the stain really well. And so if you think about it, if you have a brown or a redwood, like if I was trying to stain zero coat to look like it would turn out like a brownish blob. You just can't do it because it's already brown. It's really dense. It's not going to take the stain well. So you can just think of it like a canvas. And so there's decisions to be there as far as finishing them. Woods with less oil, you have more choices because you can use any type of oil finish, or you can spray it with any kind of acrylic lacquer or varnish, or poly or anything like that. I think those who have our headphones know that we put the type of finish on the card. At least we currently do, of what type of finish you get. And so, I found that the 3 finishes we use are ones that will work on each type of wood. And actually on yours, to get your wood a little more of that gloss, that wood actually has a catalyzed lacquer on it.
Oh.
And that was to be able to give it a little bit more of that color popping, because the lacquer does not yellow the color, so it would allow the purple to be kind of more vibrant. So there's a lot of little decisions that come on, and you just have to a little trial and error. But now that I've been doing it for a while, I'm able to make those decisions on each wood so that the whole, for me, getting either the natural color out of them, or if it's stained, to get that color to be as vibrant. It's almost like you're in Photoshop or Lightroom or whatever, and you're turning up the vibrant or saturation button. You want it to look like that in person, so that it has that glow to it.
Well, I remember you showing me for the first time. Like I went to ZM Festivus, and we're in the parking lot. And ZM Festivus was like just starting, so it was like really no one was there. People were still kind of walking into the parking lot and trying to like wander around trying to find the place. And I remember we're out on the hood of the car, and you open it up, and I remember people walking, and all of a sudden you just see all these people like and like beeline over to us, like what is that? Yeah.
Purple headphones?
Yeah, it was like, it's crazy. It was so funny because you could see it was almost like watching like a lemmings thing. Like and everyone did the same thing. They're all walking, and all of a sudden they're like, and like they all just kind of turned and slowly walked over.
And the Verite close had like just been announced at that point.
It was just fun. That was a fun. And then it was a sunny day, so they were just like beaming. It was a really cool day.
Headphone meets.
I know. Where I never listen to headphones and talk to people the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, headphone meets are for a little bit. It's for looking at gear and talking to people. Listening, a little bit.
And I met Nick and Jude at ZM Festivus, and those guys rock. And so that was one of my favorite moments too, is meeting those guys. And then in person. I think I was chatting with him online and stuff.
Looks like Phil is asking if I prefer stain or no stain, or does it depend on the type of the wood? For me, it does depend on the type of wood, because some woods like, and also it depends on what type of finish. But like camphor or ash, like on ash, I like staining it because it adds vibrance to it. Whereas some woods, like the Zercoat, if you tried to stain it or do something to it. All that being said, though, I do, on the top coat on like a zero coat, I'll put just a tiny bit of ambering effect just into the finish that I'm spraying on it, so that it glows just a tiny bit more. So there's little things like that you can do,
Little tricks.
but I don't have a preference generally. And then someone asked what we like to do outside of working. You want to start, Bev? What do you like to do outside of work? Is there outside of work?
What's this outside of work you talk
What are you
of?
talking about? No, somebody asked if we were planning on going to.
Yeah.
What?
So there used to be.
Somebody earlier asked if we were planning to go to the London Can Jam, and
planning.
Oh, Resolve just popped up.
What's that, Resolve?
Hey, Resolve.
Resolve.
Yeah, so for me, I just really liked going places, especially when we were able to start going to some international can jams. That was like the most thrilling and gratifying thing, to be able to, see different parts of the world and different cultures, get to meet ZMF owners in different places. But that's not really what I do for fun when I'm not working, because that's part of working. But I really like travel and experiencing different cultures through food, through, ceremony, whatever I can kind of absorb or be a part of. Yeah, eating out at restaurants. All of my hobbies were very external. Zach and I were talking about this the other day.
What's your hobby now?
What's your hobby now?
Sleep. Just finished The Vow on HBO. What else?
Nexium is her hobby.
No, I like watching strange documentaries now. I guess that's what I'm doing during
You got
COVID.
a Forensic Files marathon, Dateline marathon, Bevin.
She's on it. She's ready to rock.
I love a good
cold.
cold.
A little worried sometimes. I'm like, there's a
you and my wife would get along very well.
Significant other.
Yeah, I'm always like, my wife's always watching some gnarly, murder mystery stuff, and I'm always like, and then she gives me vitamins or stuff. I'm like, is this the one? Is this the? She's like, shut up, take your pill.
let me see you take the cotton out of the thing. Sorry,
Bevin. Zach, and then so it's for Bevin. It's relaxing by watching murder mystery and documentaries. Currently, but in the grander scheme, it's travel and food and all that fun stuff. And then for Zach, what's Zach do in current times to wind down?
Yeah, I mean, my hobbies haven't changed as much because of the pandemic. I mean, I still, I love listening to, I get so little chance, because most of the time I'm just testing headphones to go out the door, that I still enjoy moments to myself when I can just listen to music, go through Tidal, see what the new music is, see, what new albums came out, and do that a little bit. I play banjo and guitar, so I like to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when I have time to do that, it's like before bedtime at night.
It's like throwing pillows at you.
Bevin goes to sleep a little earlier than me, so I'll be like, "Can I sneak a little banjo in right now?" Or is Bevin asleep? I'm like, "Screw it, I'm gonna play a little banjo."
Rock out a little bit.
I am sure that's incredibly annoying, but she's such a good partner that I think she puts up with it. She knows that I love my banjo.
Just a boy and his banjo. You gotta let him have their.
I play a little bit of video games. I wish I had more time for video games, but
I'm in the same.
I was just telling one of our staff is really into gaming, and I was just telling that I have both versions of Last of Us that I've had for like months now, and I'm only like an hour into the first one or something, and it looks amazing. It's just I need to find time. So gaming is something that I've fallen behind on, but I would love to do more of. But I mean, honestly, since ZMF has become so encapsulating, like one of my main hobbies is honestly finding new ways to improve ZMF, like what new tools what can make us faster, what new tools are cool, of like, can I chisel wood away with new finishes for wood, different stains. I think Nick would tell me from down at Vocal JDS that stop buying wood, because I will wood shopping is one of my hobbies, and just because there's just so many amazing woods out there and so many amazing dealers for woods that you can get. We just bought a pallet of wood from Hawaii that I'm really excited to get started.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you were going to mention that, so
Koa.
I've been like...
Monkey pods. We have a new batch of monkey pod from there, some Koa.
I'm excited for the Koa especially, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get mango?
We got a little bit of mango. We got a little bit of mango wood.
You know about the mango?
Yeah.
Sorry, the Saturday night.
Nobody loves mango.
Nobody loves mango. Sorry, Saturday Night Live. It's fun one. Sorry, go ahead.
So I've got a lot of little hobbies and things that I do. Yeah, I used to play men's league baseball, and my team actually played this year, but I didn't play because of the pandemic and everything. That was one of the biggest things that I lost this year. That really kind of hurt me deep. Just not being able to do team sports and stuff was really tough for me. But a lot more jogging in the woods by myself.
That's oh no. Sorry, but sorry. I love it. I always joke with my daughter. She always gets super upset when I sing that to her. I'm like, oh, and she's like, no. But no, I used to, when I was running a lot, something very cathartic about running, like, and then like, just especially if you're in the woods or doing like trail running, like that's such a very cathartic thing, or even just hiking and stuff. Like, it's such a very like relaxing thing.
Yeah. Hard on the body.
Hard. I don't do it anymore because I'm a heavy guy and it hurts my legs a lot. And
the soreness you feel if you take some time off is no joke.
Yeah, it definitely hurts a little bit more. So now I just pick up heavy things and put them down, and and I do my new, since I can't do gyms, I do TRX. That's my new favorite thing right now, is the TRX machine. It's like you ever seen those things? It's just the ropes that hang from the ceiling, and you do all the crazy like you do like weird like body weight things. I don't know. So that's what I've been doing.
Seems awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty actually surprisingly rigorous workout, and I tend to just try to blaze through it as quickly as possible. But anyways, that's one of the things that I try to get my brain away, is to do workouts.
I see those guns. There's not much guns here.
My daughter's is Hulk. She always calls me Hulk. Don't get angry, Papa. Don't get angry. And I'm like, I'm not. Because you can, it's anyways.
If you're gonna have the nice tats, you have the guns.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someday if I get the guns, I'll do some of the tats.
Tattoos are addictive. I mean, I don't know if you can. I mean, they're definitely. I'm still waiting to get the rest of this one all colored in, and eventually do the full back, and maybe eventually the chest.
You can't do it all at once, because then you won't have anything to look forward to.
That's also true. I'm saving wrong side, but I'm getting a special one for the daughter. She's Year of the Monkey, so Year of the Fire Monkey, especially specifically, and so I'm gonna get a fire monkey on above my heart for her. But that's about it. Random, but the things that I get way into, for not that anyone cares, but I do photography. Photography is a big one, and then I'm new to photography. Like, I'm like, as far as like that stuff goes, I'm really new.
I've seen your Instagram. There's some good stuff on there.
I get a couple, out of the thousands of pictures I take, I get a couple winners. And then also the beast is back. I also get video games as well, but I don't get a chance to play as much as I would like as well. I did go on a gnarly spree when I got when I got our puppy, where I was playing in the morning when I take her outside. I come back, feed her, and I'd spend like 30 minutes to an hour before this one would wake up, and I'd play the Ghost of Tsushima, the Japanese samurai game. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, so that was pretty great.
What do we got going on here? What do we got now?
She's trying to buy stuff on Amazon apparently, which I'm pretty sure she's not allowed to do.
Hell yeah!
There you go, honey.
I think that tattoo is gonna suit you perfectly.
And she's out.
Which one? The fire monkey?
He's getting a butterfly on his lower back.
Resolve is?
Yeah, it's gonna look great.
Oh, that's fun.
Big flower butterfly.
Was that a '90s thing? The lower back, or was that?
I think it was a '90s thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it was. Yeah.
I have a couple of buddies that got lower back tattoos, and it was kind of like just the one too. Like there was the very awkward, the one like and now they're all very regretting that choice. Anyway, sorry. Back to you guys.
Tattoo each other.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, actually, that's the other thing I always get flamed about all the time because I do have a lot of tattoos. Everyone's always like, "When you getting your ZMF tattoo?" And I'm like,
right on his forehead.
Yeah, right there.
ZMF.
Oh my god. We had somebody emailed me the other day.
You got ZMF tattooed on your forehead.
No, I may have told this to you guys already, but somebody emailed me that you know how our leather straps have like ZMF branded into them?
Oh no.
That if they wear it too long, they get like ZMF indented into their head. And they're like, please send me the suede because I walk around looking like an idiot with ZMF pressed into my forehead.
I could just do this number here.
There you
That's
go.
very nice.
It's our new polishing cloth. Yes. Good for polishing headphones, good for polishing skull.
It works lovely.
There you go. You don't have to take the headphones off. You know what I found? For anyone who has our polishing cloth, if you wash it once in the washing machine, it gets very nice and soft.
It's nice. I really like the frill too. Is really nice. It's a nice touch, and I love the
scallop.
Yeah.
You know, it's the little thing.
Nice.
It's the little details. See, that's what it's all about. Those little
kind of like
details.
a woman's touch, you know, like the little details.
Yes. Sorry, we kind of went a little bit. I was distracted. Things went sideways on us. We're coming up on an hour and a half. I wanted to jump in and let anyone with the questions in the in the live chat, throw them up and add a question mark so we can make sure we address them. But I'm not seeing too many. I think we've been trying to be pretty good about answering them as we went along.
A couple. Did I miss any on here?
I saw one from Kareem. Hi, Kareem. That was asking about like what types of music everyone's into.
Yes.
I honestly love talking about music.
Well, that's the reason we're here.
Bevin, hear a song once, she'll remember the lyrics forever.
It's my red die.
So what are you listening to these days, Bev?
Me, I think I've been on a real grunge kick again. Green Day Dookie was such a good album. I've been listening to that a lot. But also, like, I found myself then, like, moving into Bush, like the old Gavin Rossdale band, and just, like, sort of that era of grunge. Newer music. I don't know. Well, that's just been like what I've been. I was talking to somebody recently who was like, "Oh yeah, I've been listening to like all the stuff I liked in middle school, like Korn and Nine Inch Nails and Incubus." And I feel like the pandemic, like something about it is like, you know, I haven't really been into newer music. I've been more like trying to rediscover what I used to listen to. So
it's funny you mention that because I was recently listening to 311. Like I went on a weird 311 kick. It was like,
yep. That's been in my wheelhouse lately, you
A
know.
new Eric Andre show tonight.
There's some actually. There's been. Have you guys been seeing a lot of that? Like the actual like live, like people. A lot of the artists are doing like these streaming live shows now, like where they do them on like Zoom and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I thought that was kind of cool.
A lot more like good YouTube music content for sure. It's like that whole like tiny desk theme, but like in people's houses kind of thing.
Oh, Alanis Morissette. The story behind that with her Verite Seas. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, her partner. Well, first of all, I don't know. I don't like talking about somebody's story who's a celebrity. Like, I want to protect their anonymity, but we just happened to get an order through from her and her partner, and
her partner's Souleye Treadway.
He's a rapper.
Another musical artist.
And I think
we saw his name was Souleye, and we were like, Souleye?
Enjoys
Souleye?
the headphones.
Cool.
So that was really, really exciting for us.
Yeah, we haven't met them. We haven't met them or anything like that. We've emailed back and forth with Souleye, but we haven't gotten to meet Alanis or anything. But we saw she used the headphones, so we were really delighted
that
about
was
that.
that was super
Jagged
cool.
Little Pill too, great album.
Yeah, like Jagged Little Pill, man.
Hey, Jack.
I know like probably no one in the live chat is a woman. I mean, maybe if you are, shout out right now, please. Props. But like, I think she came out around the time where it was like you could kind of like go the like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, or there was like this Lilith Fair thing happening that was like Alanis Morissette, Ani DeFranco.
Yes.
What's your favorite Alanis song?
Fair.
What's your favorite Alanis song? And give us a little like 10 seconds of it.
I'm not gonna sing, absolutely not. But I like the One Hand in My Pocket song. I like that one.
How's it go? It's like one hand. How's it go?
How about you sing for everyone, Zach? Tori Amos.
Tori Amos, there you go. Yeah.
Tori Amos.
Oh, hey Tina, hey Justin.
You know the band I was like obsessed with in the 7th and 8th grade? Silverchair.
Oh yeah, I remember Silverchair in 7th and 8th grade.
Talking about some Aussie grunge from the 90s or early. That was my thing.
Yeah, so
there's always hating on grunge, I think. What do people like to listen to? What are the music styles?
Well, Rizal likes basically jazz, so I mean, outside of that, he's not a big, and he likes some pretty horrible Canadian rock apparently. So, but outside of jazz, so I'm giving him crap right now. Sorry.
Oh, like Kenny G, or what are we talking?
As far as
Portishead is amazing.
Portishead, yeah. Trying to think.
What's up, Justin? Tina, Justin?
K-pop. Do you guys listen to K-pop?
I haven't.
K-pop? I've listened to it. It's not something I gravitate to, but I through audiophile stuff I've heard K-pop, and it's interesting. I mean, there's a whole culture who, some of our customers listen to it a significant amount, and so I didn't realize, that a lot of like Audio-Technica headphones are tuned in a way to make that genre of music sound good. It was just something I've learned about traveling around the world, talking to different people about headphone tunings, that there are certain brands that tune headphones a certain way, and I'm sure we're guilty of it too, being Westerners, so
yeah,
it's interesting stuff.
I agree. I was gonna. There's a question that came into my head, and then I got distracted by this other stuff. Oh, the new Blue Note album. It's a remake of you remember the old Blue Note jazz album, Blues? It's called Blue Note. They did a new one, and I think and it's like all these different artists, and they like recreated a bunch of like the Blue Note style, I guess. and it's fantastic. That's a really good one. And it's like a lot of R&B or some hip hop people in there, but they have like, and it's more of like that jazzy style. And the British, I think it's a British artist, Georgia Smith, Jorja Smith, I think is how, I could be wrong, but she's fantastic. She has a great jazz type of, almost R&B kind of singer, but I think she's from Britain. But anyways, she's one of the headliners for it, and it's really, really good. Hey, Blue Note Reimagined. Yeah, that's it.
What's her name?
It's like Georgia Smith, or it's but yeah, so it's the Blue Note reimagined is like, and it's really good. I recommend if you like music, and it's one of those things. It's just one of those really well recorded and sounds good. It's one of the newer ones. Just came out too, I think this month or last couple weeks. Anyways, sorry, random. I personally listen to everything. If I like it, I like it. I don't really care what the genre is. So that's how I like. If someone were to look through my playlist, it's like 800 songs of random music. So that doesn't make too much. Yeah, Georgia, Jorja Smith.
Georgia Smith.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm on it.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic one.
Give it a spin. I'm gonna give it a spin.
She's pretty great. She has a really great voice. And then the reimagined Blue Note is really good too. But yeah, for me personally, and Bevin, see some of I listen to everything from country to rock to folk to techno. Like I said, if it sounds good to me, I don't really care what the genre is, as long as it's pleasing to me. I don't, or has, and that's what it is. If it can bring me to a point in time, or if it can remind me of something or someone or somewhere or some, like that also is evokes. If there's something like that, then I'll gravitate to it. Or if the lyrics or give me some kind of thing like that, there's also that factor, which I think is important too. Like I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were like. They were talking. I think it might have been Resolve. Maybe we were doing a discussion. It was like just turn everything off and just lay down on the ground. For instance, if nearby, so with room, of course, or if you have like then listen to music with the lights off, without looking at anything, no distractions, and just focus on listening to like a whole album, for instance. And it's weird that that's a novelty for some people.
Yeah. Well, even like albums being produced like intentionally to be a cohesive album instead of just like singles. I don't really think that that's so much a thought in the music industry anymore, where like when you used to just like listen to a record and you actually had to like physically get up and walk across the room and move the needle to like jump a track, you wanted the whole thing to sort of like
flow,
blend, and now everyone skips around, and
it's all for that
I'm
single.
probably changing the song before it finishes.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it was like that old. I think Madonna's last album was one of the last ones that I listened to from beginning to end, as it had like a kind of a story to it to some level where it went through. And I'm not the biggest Madonna fan. I think she's great. She's but I just personally like a lot of it. I don't listen to Madonna that much. Not that But anyways, like that album was. I actually listened to the whole thing through and was just like, whoa! It's it's well mastered. It sounds really good and has a lot of really cool stuff to it. So,
I know that new Tool album was big last year.
Yes,
Pure Inoculum.
That was outstanding. Yeah, that was really good. All their albums are really good to listen all the way through too. Like,
there's a new Glass Animals album.
I know
Yossi Horikawa came out with an album last year, I think.
Yeah.
That's the audiophile stuff.
Yeah, that really is.
With the Bubbles one?
The Bubbles,
everyone was talking about that on Reddit, so I had to check it out.
But you should see his Kingdom of Frogs is fantastic, and then his I think it's like Walking, where it's like where it's like walking down a path, so it's the noise of like walking on gravel. That one's really good.
It's so cool.
Sorry, we totally went. Oh, Helmrick's back, and then I think we're down to the hour and a half. I don't know if there's any more questions, or if you guys want to have any questions for you guys. Want
2 more minutes to get your questions in. We
got deadline. It goes so quick. Like Let's see, Deftones, Spaces. But anyways, like so. While we wait for some questions, I wanted to say like someone also mentioned. A little bit too, but like the what was some of the your processes for like with this new prototype that you're working on and stuff like that? Like, what are some of the things that like goes through like your mind with your mind bullets? Like
As far as the tuning or the
yeah, just like the
whole thing?
conceptualizing and just like what like peek behind the green curtain kind of thing, or the John Malkovich let's John Malkovich and see what you.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, I guess the thing to go over is just the whole struggle with this new one is that the version we're working on is closed.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, right now we make headphones that are round and big and have a lot of, you know, Z-axis space to them. And so the biggest struggle was actually realizing that in an oval platform, there were some changes that needed to be made in how the driver was situated to the ear to move it so that it was both in an efficient place so that the sound and the node of the driver was going direct to the ear, because that's important to make sure that there's no, or at least as little spikes and abnormalities in the frequency response as far as you know, phase is concerned. And then making sure that the back of the cup has ample space on the outer ear side, to make sure that there's no strange reflections coming from that direction, and making the cup a little bit oval posed a few more challenges than I thought. And we're not quite where I want to be, but that's been the biggest challenge from a measurements and objective, you know, standpoint so far as is getting those made. The other challenge is just, you know, making sure that it's made in a manner where we can make them fast enough, because I know that when we come out with a headphone in that price bracket, not only, you know, and that's the thing is that I don't think, okay, hey, here's going to be a $799 headphone. I have to, you know, dumb down the, you know, the sound because it's going to be cheaper than our other headphones. I mean, it's me just trying to get the most out of the materials and be able to make it cost the amount so that we can charge $799 for it. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you know, it's just going to be the best headphone I can make, in that for the amount of cost that it's going to cost to make. And so just making sure that all the materials and are going to allow us to sell it for that, you know, price point, and that we're efficient enough and that all of our construction processes will allow, you know, us to, you know, still as a company go forward with a product that's that cost. And that's something we're still working out, and I think, you know, we're pretty much there. But I mean, it's been a real, because our other headphones, it's kind of almost price no object, you know, just make the best headphone possible. It'll cost what it costs. Oh, we have to buy 50,000 headphones worth of beryllium. Sure, like we'll just, you know, people, if it's good, you know, people will like it. But with this, it's you know, there's more confinements because, you know, I want our headphones to be more accessible. I want more people to hear them, and to do that, you know, you have to get the price down a little bit. And so, yeah, it was the first time I've really had to really think about the big picture as far as market and how to do things in a way where we can do it, make it happen as a business, and not have it, you know, chokehold the rest of what we do and all that stuff. So that's kind of why it's taking a little longer too, because it's just there's more logistics that come into play, to make sure it's done right.
Yeah, I would say, like, for me, I have really hated being a little behind where we wanted to be. It doesn't feel good, you know. It doesn't feel good telling someone like, "Oh, I know I thought it would be done this week, but it's not going to be done this week." Like, it just, I end up, you know, not feeling good. I know the person waiting for their headphone ends up not feeling happy in the moment. And I think for us, we just want to make sure anything that we do, that we are responsible in how we do it, so that things feel manageable, that people have, you know, expectations that are reasonable. Because I really like what we do, and I think more and more people are finding out about us. And if we don't, you know, sort of captain the ship and even slow things down if we have to, you know, that's what's the like making people really happy and enjoy their headphones and think they had a great ZMF experience, or think that we're a bunch of jerks and they just, where's my headphone? You know,
Yeah,
so we're really trying to be
definitely
planful.
we're
Yeah.
definitely guilty this year, as Bevin was kind of talking about. Of, in the past, I feel like my approximations for when people would get their headphones were more on because I kind of knew everything. And this year with the virus and COVID and everything, there's been more and going into a new space, and our brand also getting a little more popular than it has in the past. I'm definitely guilty of not, being on my game as far as estimating things as well as I'd like. And, we of course want to get people their headphones as fast as we can. And I think it's just been 2020 has been a good learning experience for how we have to change our business to make sure that, we are offering a product that we can sustain the rate of. Because I've ordered things in the past where I thought I was going to get them sooner, and even buying food for my dog right now through the mail, it takes 2 months to get some of the stuff I want for her. And so, I just totally understand the perspective of us, making it a more linear process to getting headphones in people's hands. And it's something that we're actively working on, and hopefully going to do a better job of going forward.
I think also. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick. Just know that if you are waiting, that it's totally worth it, and it's a super awesome experience to finally get it in hand, and it's definitely worth the wait. So,
Got some headphones right here that are going out this week.
Hey, can we see your kombucha?
living food for the living body.
Here's a kombucha.
Oh wow, look at those copper on
Got some of
on
these.
Burl.
Copper on Burl. Charles Wynn. I think Charles left, but this is his headphone.
No, I was
Bevin.
just gonna say, I think somebody said before that they're used to waiting in the keyboard community, and I do think like what we do in the headphone space is a little atypical in terms of like the way we build things and how our process goes. I think if you're used to other things, like if you're into guitars or you've ever had a musical instrument like commissioned and made for yourself, you're like, oh wow, like that's not too bad a wait, because those things take like a significant amount of time with a similar process. But I do think like we're making headphones, people want to use headphones. And if you're not used to the idea or concept of like, these are starting from a block of wood that we ship to a machine, that gets shipped to us, that we start sanding, that gets polished and dried and finished and dried and stained and dried, and then it's just different.
There's processes, and
we want to, now that we're in the space, we want to make a video of like kind of the life of a headphone, because right now I know there are people who look at the spreadsheet that we're admittedly not great at updating, and we have like 3 processes there. It like starts at machining, then it goes to sanding and finishing, assembly, QC, and that's just not a reality of how your headphone actually moves through our workshop. So sometimes people will sit in sanding and finishing for a few weeks and just think like, what are you guys actually doing over there? Which is understandable, that's the information that you have. But to give a little more context to like, no, these like, sometimes your headphone might have a gnarly burl, and it needs wood fill there. It needs the pores filled. It needs like all these small details that take a long time with the drying, and I don't know, and all of that.
And with wood, there's stuff that unfortunately happens. Like someone's headphone will be in, QC, and all of a sudden I walk in the next day and something's moved on it, or the finish isn't up to my standard or something. We have to redo some processes. So there's definitely X factors there. And I was having a discussion on HeadFi with someone today just about our policies and all that stuff. And I got into making headphones because I loved crafting things out of wood that were unique and all that stuff. But the business side is definitely something that we're still learning, we're still getting better at, and we're still figuring out what's best for people who want to own our headphones. And I think we're taking a lot of steps to make sure that experience is going to be better going forward. And with our stock headphones now having a 10% return fee. It's it's not perfect, it's not Amazon, but it will allow someone who's looked at our headphones for a long time to, if they want to try one of our headphones and can't hear it because of the pandemic or because there's no shows or whatever, at least be able to get it in a few weeks as we move towards having the headphones available, and not have to pay, or not at least not have a return policy. So
yeah, that's Dave said he'd almost be upset.
He'd be disappointed.
Yeah, if he didn't get that weight.
Yeah. 3 months wait, please.
Yeah.
You got it, Dave. 6 months.
We're on it.
Have we shipped Dave's headphone? Does he have his
No,
headphones?
Dave
yet?
has his headphone.
He did get his headphones? Good. I was like, he might still be waiting. I don't know.
No.
And I always joke with you guys about this. Someone else mentioned it a little bit. And this last thing before we dive off and jump off. But real quick, like I always joke with you guys about. I think I've sent you, Zach, like the chair, like like when are we getting a ZMF chair, or like when do we when can I get a ZMF coaster, like a wood, and that's me joking. Live chat, don't.
I think Bevin's made some coasters, but chairs, I don't know.
Yeah, but someone was asking, like, when are we getting a loudspeaker from ZMF? Is what one of the questions was.
Oh, that's the thing. People will email me and be like, "Hey, I've got these Focal, all these different loudspeakers. What ZMF sounds the most like these?" And I'm like, because the truth is that I've heard just about every headphone on the planet. I've always loved headphones. I honestly have not heard that many speakers. And the thing is, at shows, I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna make it to all these speaker rooms, but I never have a chance to because I'm so inundated with the headphone stuff. So it's one thing I definitely want to hear more speakers. But as far as us making loudspeakers, I think we're definitely entrenched in the portable audio thing right now, and someday I would love to have an accompanying speaker, but it's not something we're actively pursuing right now. But I wouldn't put anything out of the realm of possibility as our company hopefully continues to expand, because it's always nice to have products that you love, and a nice pair of speakers obviously goes along with what we do in audio. And I love crafted wood stuff.
Well, I think too, like, we find problems that need to be solved for example, Zach, when he's listening, will have like a buffet of ear pads around him and tubes everywhere. So for me, I'm thinking like, well, what's something that would be functional to store ZMF pads? Because we ship our headphones with like a few sets of pads. People have a hard time identifying them. As a wife, like, it's okay if you have your stuff out, but I'd like to find a place where it has a home afterwards. So I think a lot of like the development is like,
that's home. Sorry.
Y'all, get it under control. No, so for me, like when I'm thinking of developing products, I'm like, what goes hand in hand? How do we help people keep their ear pads organized and identified? Where can they have a more permanent home that looks like it aligns with like the ZMF stuff that you may already have? Just a variety of like problems that occur or not problems, but things that we see in our day-to-day usage of audio. What's missing? What can we make? What makes this more functional or pleasant? That sort of thing.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Got some really nice sweatshirts coming on the website.
Yeah, I saw Ben's. I'm jealous. I'm actually. I keep meaning to order some, but I'm going to order some.
Alternative apparel. They're very soft. I would buy them even if they didn't have a ZMF logo on them. They're
nice.
That nice.
They look fantastic. I think his wife stole his though, so I'm not sure if he actually is still. And so, sorry, I distracted myself. My brain went sideways. But I think with that kind of stuff, I think it's very important to like have a good baseline, right, before you dive into like crazy other things.
Yeah.
And then for organizations, for me, like I have my little shelves here, but even that gets crazy. Actually, I love the leather pouches you have. I use those for all my cables. Like all my, I put all my cables into the pouches and I organize that way. And then my ear pads, that's definitely not the best organization. I just stack them. I have a shelf in my audio cabinet just stacked full of ZMF pads.
Bevin's talked about making an ear pad holder thing.
Be kind of interesting. And here,
It's time for nap time. I'm sitting on my couch. And can you put this necklace? Because I'm sitting on the couch today.
that just happened. I heard a lot of words. I wasn't quite congruent with what it was saying. I think it's okay. She wants a cat necklace on. All
Put
right.
it on. Put on the necklace.
Okay, there you go. and the wife's like, get her. Yeah, sorry, distractions.
Daddy does it best.
Yeah, she definitely. So she got in trouble at school the other day, and I guess the teachers were like, all she did for 30 minutes was cry for Papa. So, so yeah, I was like, oh, awesome.
She knows who the good dad is.
Yeah. I think she knows who the sucker is, what it is.
The shirts. So people are asking where the shirts will be on the website in November. Basically, the website is going to have a little bit of a turnover where, you know, we've pared down the products that are on it right now, and then in November when we do ZMF November, which likely will happen mid to late in the month near Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all that stuff. That's when all the new stuff the new limited editions. Should we go through the ZMF November stuff?
I was gonna say let's end it with the ZMF November. Tell me, ZMF November. What is it all about?
November.
What's
a yearly extravaganza where children love their fathers and their fathers get headphones. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, we've paired right now. We have a number of things coming, and the big new thing for us this year is the stabilized wood, and we know that's going to be available in the Verite Closed and the A-list. And for those two models, that's going to be the limited edition, and those are going to be sold in a little bit of a different manner than we've ever sold ZMFs before. In that they're going to be sold as they're finished, pictured as one by one. Because we realize, like, you know, if you're ordering a stabilized piece of wood, the only way to know what it's going to look like, because they're all so varied, is to see exactly what you're going to get. So those are going to be sold after they're done, actually. So those are going to ship pretty quickly compared to how things have done in the past. And they'll be kind of revolving as we add them to the site and finish them probably from mid-November all the way up until mid-December or Christmas time.
Are you going to do like a raffle so people have a chance to get each one, or is it just first come, first serve?
We're going to say, hey, you got to get signed up for the email list. And then it's going to be, you know, we're probably going to try to release 5 to 10 at a time and say, if you like one, buy it off the website, and then it'll get QC'd and shipped within a week or so, a week or two or something like that. And yeah, I mean, as far as a raffle or being able to buy them, you know, I don't know what the demand is right now. And, you know, if we run into a problem where, you know, there's so much more demand than what we have, we may have to think about something like that, but we'll see as they get on the site, you know, how many people are mad at us or not.
If you want help with the raffle stuff, I know lots of guys that do the raffle style thing, and I can probably get you in contact with them on how they do those things.
I think having like an equitable chance is nice. Like, I know there are people who use like certain internet things where it's like, tell me when this like page changes. So
the bots,
you know,
the bot buy, the bots will come in and
There's also going to be some you know, one-off sets for Verite Closed and other models. I mean, that's one thing that happens. We have some wood that just kind of sits around and either gets cut and we don't use it or stuff like that. So I always like to put that stuff up during November as well. And so the A-list will also have some stabilized sets available. Those will be $17.99 for the price, whereas the Verite Closed ones will be $29.99. And we made a couple stabilized A-lists, and they turn out really beautiful. And then for the Atticus and Icon, we're going to be doing the marble wood. And we'll be figuring out how we're going to get that finished this week. So that's really exciting. The Auteur has the Wenge wood, which is really beautiful. There's a couple of them in the office right next to Bevin right now. I don't think I have any right here with me. And then the Verite Open is going to have the Desert Ironwood, which we saw earlier in the spray booth, which is just that amazing, really super dense wood that has a really kind of golden glow to it, and it's a little bit heavier, but in the Verite Open, it's not too bad because of all the open space. But yeah, aside from the stabilized wood for the Aeolus and Verite Close, there's not going to be another limited, and we're doing that in an effort to keep up. And so that's the other big change about ZMF November, is that all this we're probably not going to start ZMF November until we're caught up with all the stock woods. And so if you get the ZMF November and you want a headphone, quicker and something around, hey, I would like to have this by Christmas or close to Christmas. We never make promises of like, hey, you'll have this for Christmas, you'll have this for Hanukkah, like anything like that, where we're never like, hey, we're going to give you an exact date, but ordering a stock headphone, the way we're going to be producing them going forward will allow people to have more of a chance of that. And then, of course, in ZMF November, we always have all our B stock and used headphones.
I think a lot of people are excited for that.
And that's at a better price too. I mean, the Aeolus is you can get for around $8.99, $9.99. Same with the Atticus. To the Verite Closed, there will be ones around $2,000 that are available, which is they come with all the full warranty and everything like that. And the other thing that's exciting is just our new cable lineup with the new, not the actual wire, but we have all our new proprietary jacks. We're going to have all our new DIY stuff we're selling. And then we're also, I think everybody's going to be pretty happy to hear this, replacing the stock cable.
The flat cable.
The flat cable is being cremated. It's going away. It's never going to come
We
back.
heard you, Internet.
I know everybody hates it. I actually think I have right over here. I think I have a sample of it. Do I?
I always tell people just to automatically just pay for the OFC cable and you'll be super happy.
So here's the new version of the stock cable here.
Oh, wow.
So it's 4-strand sleeved, full, like twist braided
nice
all the
looking.
way up. A paracord around it, very soft. But you can kind of see it's got, sleeving all the way up. And then, shrunk over the jack. And yeah, this is going to be the headphone that comes with, or the cable that comes with every headphone instead of the flat wound cable. And, while it's not, premium OCC wire or anything like that, it just for the people who are, either non-cable believers or just want something more ergonomic that feels nice. It's a big ergonomic step up, even though I don't think the sound quality is
the same
any better. And I mean, of course, and I always want to say about the cables, we are not ones to say, hey, you have to have an upgrade cable or you don't. I know there's people who believe in cables who don't. We're not ones to say you have to get an upgrade cable or not. And this is a great cable for the people who either are or aren't cable believers, to have something that's much more soft, supple, and nice to use with their headphones, and won't be complaining about the.
I call them neck candy. That's the neck candy.
Yeah.
Well, I think some people were saying, like, I think the headphones feel really, not to toot our own horn, but they feel good. Like, they feel solid,
very nice.
substantial, like wood, metal, leather. And then the stock cable that was shipping, like, it didn't quite have the complete feel that people enjoyed. So Zach and I felt a lot of paracord and a lot of samples and really went for something that like in hand feels premium, feels like it's congruent with, matches the aesthetic and package and in hand feel of the headphones. So
very cool. That's exciting. That's very awesome. I'm a big fan of your guys' cables. In fact, everyone I know that gets your cables loves your cables. So that's whether you're a believer or not, there is something to be said at the bare minimum of the quality of the feel of it in your hand, and like you're saying too, like and even your OFC cables, just the upgrade cables, the basic ones, I think those are fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, and then I have your Verite Silvers here, and I literally, I'll be on shows. You'll probably even see me in some of the shows. I'll be sitting there, I'll just be like, I'll be twirling with them, and I'll just be doing this, and like they just feel good in the hand. And they're shiny, yeah. Like the neck candy, and it was a definite gift to myself to get these. So along with these, of course. But yeah. So I think if that's for the ZMF November, to everyone, sign up, email. The links below to
Email
their
list.
website.
Yeah, email list is the best way to find out about. A lot of people have been emailing saying, "Hey, when are those stabilized going to be available?" And I don't know a specific date, but the truth is they'll be available when we're caught up on our current list. Basically, we have about 50 to 52 headphones to make Verite close before I'm gonna release them. So at the pace we're going at, it's gonna be around Thanksgiving. So
Very cool. Very, very cool. And anything else you guys wanted to chat about or anything like that? Or any questions for the chat?
it's gonna be a lot of B stock headphone stands for sale for a very good
Slayers.
price in November. Yeah.
Great.
We have a lot of Cadillacs B stock, a lot of what other woods, Beth? Bakode B stock.
Oh, those are cool.
Ode, Purple Heart.
Yeah, so it's
Hardwood.
probably in the $60 to $80 range for those.
Very cool. Okay, so we're gonna have basically you're gonna have your whole lineup will have B stock, and then so sign up for the email so you guys can be alerted for when this stuff goes live, and be ready because it's quite the event. If I recall from last year, even it was pretty big, and I think this year's probably gonna even be even more crazy based on what I've been seeing online.
Yeah, we're just trying to front load it so that we can have them ready to ship and not have people waiting a long time because we know it's the time of year. You don't want to order something and wait for it till February unless you're in for that wait. So we're going to be very clear with the wait times on everything.
Very cool. Okay, well, I
Right.
think yeah, Bevin, go ahead.
No, I was going to say thank you so much for having us, Tyler. I think everyone should subscribe to you.
Oh,
Smash
thank you.
the like and the subscribe to Tyler. Just smash it like the Hulk. And thank you. And thank you guys for showing up. It was good to see everyone. And we'll catch you either in person, hopefully sometime, or on the screen again.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. And I'll leave with that because Bevin ended it perfectly. So, everyone, cheers.
Thank you.
Okay.